Growing up, I had the best childhood, I think, ever. It was just, I was surrounded by so many people that loved me, and my family is incredible. I have the most incredible family ever. And my sister, my sister and I, she's 3 years older than me, her name's Emily, and we're just the best of friends. She's incredible. I mean, when your parents buy you matching outfits for the first 7 years of your life, I think that you're like bound to be best friends, but it worked out fine because we're great now. But growing up, I was always known as just like the happy girl, and growing up in a Christian home, I knew that my joy came from the Lord. Like I knew that 100% to be true. But yeah, growing up, it was just the most incredible childhood. I had a little bit of a rough time in middle school. Going into high school, I didn't have a lot of friends, and the friends that I did have were just kind of really mean to me, so it was super hard. Going into high school, it was the same way, but it was always okay because I had Emily, you know, so it was just, at least I had Emily at home. But October 7th, 2016, Emily decided to move to Honduras to go be a part of a church plantation. And that sucked really bad. Not for her, but for me it was really hard just because she meant so much to me and we were so close. And a week before, my boyfriend broke up with me, so that just made everything 10 times worse. And it doesn't help that I'm an extremist, so I'm gonna feel everything to the most that I possibly can. So if I'm gonna love somebody, I'm gonna love them like with everything that I am, and if I'm gonna be heartbroken, I'm gonna be pretty heartbroken. So it was a really, really rough few months just because, I mean, I found my validation in my boyfriend and I found my comfort in Emily, and so having those two things that I invested so much of my time into be completely stripped of me was really, really difficult, and I experienced so much pain. And just when things were getting okay, you know, I was clinging to the Lord and turning to Him and really having to tune into His Holy Spirit. It was just, things were finally starting to be okay. And then April of 2017, I found out about an emotional affair that was going on between one of my parents. And that was 100% what broke me, just because that was everything that defined me. My best friend, my boyfriend, and my parents, like that's what I came from. And I knew growing up that my joy came from the Lord, and so in this time where I had zero joy, it was like, well, if my joy is absent, so that means that my God's absent too. That wasn't the case though. Oh, it was so good, God's so good. And I had to learn to find my contentment in just Jesus, which is super difficult, but I mean, it's so worth it. I would go through it all 10 times because the experience and the intimacy that I had with the Lord was so incredible. You know, I found out that I was finding my contentment and my source of life in the people around me, and that's so not okay, because they're gonna fail you every single time. And so learning to be content with just Jesus was super difficult, but I mean, I can say that I fell in love at 16. Like I found the love of my life at 16. But it's so hard because, you know, you can't touch Him and you can't feel Him, but it's like, oh, it's so rewarding in the end just because, I mean, He fulfills every need. You know, He's your source of validation. He's your source of comfort. He's your source of peace. When I didn't have anything else that did do that for me, He was the one that did that for me. So, my name is Mandy Burke, and I'm a part of a greater story.